The world isn't cruel. It's indifferent. And that indifference is colder than hate. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you've been broken, betrayed, or left behind. It doesn't pause because your heart aches. It doesn't soften because your soul is bleeding. It keeps moving, and it leaves behind those who can't keep up. That is the raw truth, the kind that doesn't come wrapped in comfort or softened by pity. You were born into a battlefield, not a sanctuary. Every breath you take is borrowed time. Every moment is a chance or a countdown. You either rise or you rot. There's no middle ground. The world worships strength because strength changes things. Strength shapes destiny. And if you have none, you are shaped by others, crushed by the pressure, bent by the weight, forgotten by the pace of a world that only respects what it fears. You want to be seen? Then become something that cannot be ignored. You want to be heard? Then become a voice that silences doubt and pierces through the noise like a blade through bone. But let's be honest right now, you're still negotiating with your weakness. You're still arguing with your fear. Still feeding it. You give it permission every time you delay, every time you choose comfort over conquest, distraction over discipline, softness over the storm. And while you sit there trying to find a better time, life is already tightening the noose around your potential. One more excuse, and you'll strangle it to death. You think you have time. You don't. Time is a liar. It whispers fake promises and buries warriors in shallow graves of procrastination. A clock does not pity you. It mocks you. Every tick is a reminder that you are being hunted by the future you rage afraid to create and the past you refuse to leave behind. But if there's still something savage in you, something hungry, something that refuses to die in a cage, then stop waiting. Rip the softness out of your mind. Kill the comfort that's been draining your soul. No one is coming to rescue you from mediocrity. No one is going to fight your battles for you. There is no savior. Only the monster you must become to survive this war. Rise from the ashes of your hesitation. Burn the bridges to your weakness so there's no way back. Let pain become your mentor. Let failure sharpen your edge. Let rejection become fuel. Every scar, every bruise, every sleepless night is proof that you're still in the arena. You're still breathing. And if you're breathing, you're dangerous. Don't aim to be liked. Aim to be undeniable. Don't wish to be saved. Learn to be feared. Because when the world sees you bleed and you keep moving forward unshaken, unbroken, and unyielding, that's when it finally pays attention. That's when it backs the hell off. This isn't for the weak. This isn't for the dreamers. This is for the doers, the ones who dare to carve a future with bloodied hands and a fire that never dies. If you're ready to stop existing and start dominating them, this is your call to war. Welcome to the fight. Earn your place. Or step aside and watch the strong build empires from the bones of the timid. Pain doesn't earn respect here. Tears don't move the world. Excuses are just noise, meaningless, disposable, forgotten. The world does not slow down for your sorrow, your uncertainty, or your shattered dreams. It is deaf to your apologies, blind to your suffering, numb to your struggle. It does not care because it is not supposed to. This world was not built for the fragile. It was forged by those who bled, who clawed, who endured, and still rose with fire in their eyes and steel in their soul. The weak, they live in illusion. They believe time will wait, that the world will somehow bend to their hesitation, that mercy is a given. But mercy is earned, and only by the ones who force the world to notice them. And you don't get to be noticed by begging for it. You don't get to be remembered by hiding from the storm. You rise by becoming the storm. You want to rise? Then break what holds you down. Burn the lies you've told yourself. Erase the limits others drew around you. You must become more than what you are. Not by hoping. Not by waiting. But by suffering with purpose, grinding with rage, and fighting with no quit in your blood. Weakness is a luxury that will cost you everything. You either kill it or it will kill you. The strong, they are not born. They are built. In silence, not in pain. In failure. When no one is watching, when no one is cheering, they get up anyway. They move anyway. Because deep down, they know the truth: the world does not care how you feel. It only kneels to those who refuse to break. So don't waste time explaining your scars. Don't ask for sympathy. Don't wait for someone to understand your struggle. Make them respect it. Speak with your actions. Show the world that you will not fold. That your spirit is not for sale. That your soul is not negotiable. The fire inside you is your only weapon, and you must feed it with everything that once made you soft. This is not about being liked. It's about being undeniable. It's about becoming something too powerful to be ignored, too strong to be broken. Let the world watch as you rise not with kindness, but with wrath. Not with excuses, but with execution. Because in the end, the world has always been clear. It only respects strength. Everything else is just background noise. Comfort is the silent killer. It whispers sweet lies in your ear, telling you that you've done enough, that you deserve to rest, that where you are is good enough. But those are the words that bury ambition. That's how strength dies, not in chaos, but in silence. In stillness. In comfort. Because comfort breeds weakness, and weakness is what this world feasts on. What you have now, this fragile peace, this temporary ease, it's a cage dressed like a reward. It lulls you into mediocrity while time drags you deeper into regret. You think you're safe? There's no safety here. Only the illusion of it. And that illusion has cost more people their greatness than failure ever could. You were not born to settle. You were not built to sit still. There's something inside you screaming for more, but you've buried it beneath excuses, distractions, and soft routines. A week they chase comfort like it's a prize. They think the goal is to feel good, to avoid pain, to take the easy route. They celebrate escape, not endurance. But that path leads to nothing. It leads to a life where dreams die quietly and potential rots in the dark corners of the mind. The graveyard is full of people who thought they had time. Full of people who chose comfort over calling. Who chose rest over rise. That's the price of comfort. It takes everything and gives you nothing that lasts. But the strong, they seek comfort for what it is, a poison disguised as peace. They reject it. They wage war against it. Because they know that greatness does not come to those who rest, it comes to those who relentlessly demand more. More pain. More pressure. More chaos. Because inside that chaos is growth. Inside that fire is transformation. And only those who walk willingly into the storm ever rise beyond the ashes of their former self. You want to rise? Then kill the comfort. Starve it. Rip it out of your soul like a parasite. Replace it with hunger, and endless hunger for evolution, for pain that means something, for the kind of work that breaks bones and builds warriors. You must want more. Not just when it's easy. Not just when you're motivated, not always. Especially when it's hard. Especially when you're tired. That's where the strong are forged, in the refusal to settle, in the madness of never being satisfied. This world doesn't hand out greatness. It hides it in the places most are afraid to go. You want it? Then go where others won't. Suffer more. Bleed more. Fight harder. Comfort will always try to seduce you. But you were not made to be seduced. You were made to conquer. Because in the end, comfort is the enemy. And if you keep choosing it, don't be surprised when your dreams die in your hands. Choose war. Choose fire. Choose discomfort. Because only through that path will you find who you were truly meant to become. Comfort is a trap. Burn it to the ground. Pain is not your enemy, it is your teacher, your weapon, your crucible. Every scream within, every tear no one sees, every moment you want to quit, but don't, that is where the real transformation begins. Not in comfort, not in ease, but in the raw, burning agony that tears down the weak parts of you. and dares you to rise again harder, sharper, more ruthless than before. Every time you push beyond what you thought was your breaking point, every time you collapse and get back up, you are not dying, you are forging. That pain, that's the heat of the forge, and you are the blade being beaten into shape. The world doesn't hand you strength. It doesn't gift you greatness. It dares you to earn it, and the currency is suffering. The strong pay that price without hesitation, because they know the truth. Pain is not punishment. It is permission. Permission to evolve. Permission to rise. The weak, they fear pain. They flinch. They retreat. They tell themselves they're not ready, not built for this, not made to endure. But that's the lie that keeps them soft. That's the lie that feeds mediocrity. They treat pain like it's a sign to stop, a signal to run. And because of that, they never become. They stay small, stay safe, and die with potential they never touched. But the strong, they welcome the suffering. They know that every ache, every scar, every brutal failure is a stepping stone to greatness. Pain is the gatekeeper. It guards everything worth having. You want strength? You'll bleed for it. You want power? You'll suffer for it. You want to rise? Then you better be ready to burn for it. No transformation is painless. No real growth is clean. It's violent. It's brutal. It strips you of who you were and forces you to kill every weakness that ever lived inside you. It breaks your bones just to see if you'll stand. It drowns you to see if you'll breathe anyway. But if you face it, if you lean into it, embrace it, devour it, you'll rise forged in fire. Not fragile. Unbreakable. So don't run from the pain. Don't wish it away. Don't pray for it to end. Let it cut you. Let it shape you. Let it leave marks that remind you exactly what you're made of. Because that's what the strong do. They bleed and keep going. They suffer and keep building. And through it all, they become something the world cannot shake. You want to rise? Then stop fearing the fire. Step into it. Become it. Because pain is not the end, it's the beginning. The beginning of something greater than you've ever been. Something the world can't ignore. Something undeniable. Pain is the proof. Growth is the reward. Embrace it. The real war has never been out there. It's not the people who doubted you. Not the ones who walked away. Not the circumstances, the system, or the storms life throws your way. No, the true enemy lives inside the version of you that flinches, that hesitates, that whispers lies in the dark telling you to quit, to shrink, to settle for less than you were born to become. That weaker self is always there, that waiting dot lurking. The voice that tells you to hit snooze. The feeling that convinces you you're not good enough, not ready, not built for the fire. That's your real opponent. It's not visible. It doesn't wear a face. But it is deadly. Because it knows exactly how to break you from the inside out. It knows your fears. It knows your doubts. And it knows that if it can make you hesitate for just one moment, you'll lose everything. The weak, they think the world is their enemy. They blame others. They point fingers. They look for someone or something to fight, to blame, to hate. But the truth, the battle is not out there. It never was. The strongest warriors know the battlefield is internal. That their own shadow is more dangerous than any external threat. That the only war that matters is the one between who they are and who they refuse to be. And if you're really not actively fighting the weaker version of yourself, then you're really losing to it. Every time you delay, every time you lie to yourself, every time you choose ease over effort, comfort over conquest, silence over truth, you surrender a piece of who you could have been. That version of you, the one that hesitates, that doubts, that compromises, it doesn't deserve to live. Not if you want to rise. You have to kill it. Every day. With discipline. With rage. With relentless action. You have to wake up and declare war on that inner coward. You have to look it in the eye and say, You don't get to control me anymore. Not today. Not ever again. You have to starve it of your attention, strip it of your power, and destroy it with every rep, every step, every hard choice that pushes you toward the edge of who you are and who you ray becoming. The strong don't wait for motivation. They don't need validation. They wake up every day with one purpose: to beat the version of themselves that isn't good enough. And when they do, day after day, they don't just get stronger. They become unrecognizable. They become legends. Not because they fought the world, but because they conquered themselves. So stop looking outward. Stop blaming the world. The real enemy is in the mirror. And if you want to rise, if you want to become something undeniable, then there's only one path to destroy the weaker you. Rip it out, that burn it, that bury it. And never look back. Because this battle, it's you vs you. And only one of you gets to survive. Every second of your life, you're making a choice whether you're aware of it or not. You're either crafting your future with intent and fire, or you're handing it over to the chaos of the world, letting life toss you around like a leaf in a storm. There is no middle ground. You are either the master of your fate or a slave to your own neglect. The clock is ticking. The world doesn't pause for your uncertainty. It doesn't care if you're confused, scared, or lost. It only moves ruthlessly, endlessly, and if you're not the one steering, it will drag you wherever it wants, and it won't be somewhere you like. Control is not something you're given. It's something you take. With discipline. With willpower. With a refusal to let the world write your story. The strong, they know this. They don't wait for opportunities. They create them. They don't hope things will change. They become the change. While others drift, they anchor themselves to purpose. While others react, they act. Because they understand a hard truth: the future is not found. It is forged, the weak. They let life happen to them. They believe the lie that their circumstances own them, that their past defines them, that fate has already been written. They give up the pen and let the chaos write their ending. But the strong, they snatch that pen back. They fight for every inch. Every choice they make is deliberate. Every action is a strike in the war for control. They live like it all depends on them because it does. You want to rise? Then stop floating through the days like you have no power. Stop waking up like your destiny is someone else's responsibility. It's not that it never was. No one is coming to shape your life for you. No one is going to push you into greatness. If you don't take control, the world will use you, break you, discard you, and move on without ever knowing your name. Discipline is the blade. Control is the grip. If you don't hold on tight, life will cut you open and leave you bleeding in the dirt of your own regret. But if you take control, if you refuse to surrender, if you grip your future by the throat and refuse to let go, then there is no limit to what you can become. Because the strong don't ask for control. They seize it. They own it. And through that, they shape a life that bends the world to them. So wake up and choose. Build or break. Rise or fall. Own your future or watch it belong to someone else. Because in the end, only the strong take control. Everyone else gets controlled. Hesitation is death in slow motion. It's the crack in the armor that lets failure slip in. It's the moment you pause that costs you the war. The world isn't patient. It doesn't wait for you to feel ready, confident, or safe. It doesn't care if you're uncertain. It doesn't pause for your overthinking. It moves relentlessly, and if you hesitate, even for a second, it will devour you without mercy. The weak, they cling to hesitation like it's a shield. They convince themselves that the right time will come. That clarity will magically appear. That someday they'll be strong enough, brave enough, ready enough. But that day never comes. All that waiting turns into regret. All that hesitation turns into rust, and before they know it, they're buried beneath the weight of chances never taken. But the strong, they know hesitation is a lie, a trick. A thief that steals momentum and robs purpose. The strong don't wait, they move. Even when they're uncertain, even when the path is unclear. They know that action carves clarity. That motion destroys fear. Their hesitation only feeds weakness, and weakness is the one thing they will never tolerate within themselves. You want to rise? Then stop hesitating. Stop waiting for motivation, for permission, for some imagined perfect alignment of stars. That moment you're waiting for? It doesn't exist. What exists is now the grind, the battle, the moment where you decide whether you're going to be the one who commands your future or the one who gets buried by it. Weakness thrives in hesitation. It grows in delay. It eats away your edge, your drive, your power. Every time you pause, the weaker version of you gets stronger, and the stronger you are becoming starts to fade. You don't get stronger by thinking about it. You get stronger by moving, by acting when it's hard, when it's scary, when it's uncomfortable. That's what separates the elite from the average. The bold from the broken. This world will take everything from those who hesitate. It will strip you bare and spit you out if you don't fight back with urgency, with fire, with the kind of ruthless commitment that does not negotiate with doubt. The strong don't wait to feel ready, they make themselves ready through action. Through pressure. Through the refusal to sit still. So if you're serious about rising, then hesitation must die as kill it. Rip it out of your system. Replace it with movement, with fire, with decisive, unstoppable force. Because the longer you hesitate, the more your potential decays. And once it's gone, there is no resurrection, not move now, not rise now. Or get left behind. Because weakness feeds on hesitation. And hesitation kills kings. Complacency is the slow rot that turns champions into shadows. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It tells you you've done enough. That you've earned the right to slow down. That the work is over. But that lie has buried more greatness than failure ever could. Every second you rest on what you've already done is a second where your edge dulls, your hunger fades, and your purpose starts to decay. The weak, they worship their past. They cling to old victories like they mean something now. But yesterday's wins don't feed today's war. The moment you think you've made it is the moment you begin to fall. Because this world doesn't care what you've done. It only cares what you're doing. Right now. And if you're not pushing forward, you're sliding backward. There's no stillness in the path to greatness. Only motion or death. The strong. They treat past achievements like ash as proof of what burned, not a place to rest. They know that what they did before means nothing if they stop now. That the fire they fed yesterday won't keep them warm today. They don't settle. They don't celebrate for long. Because they understand that the enemy of progress is satisfaction. And satisfaction is what kills the drive, the discipline, the domination. You want to rise? Then you must murder complacency before it murders you. You must wake up every day like you've achieved nothing. Like you're still at war. Still proving. Still becoming. Because the second you think you've arrived, the second you let your guard down is the second the world reminds you just how quickly it can take everything back. This isn't about what you've done. It's about what you're doing. Right now. What pain you're willing to endure. What fire you're willing to walk through again and again to stay hungry, to stay dangerous. Complacency makes you soft. But greatness requires you to stay sharp, not always. Burn the trophies. Forget the applause. Yesterday was fuel, not a finish line. You haven't earned rest, you've earned pressure. And pressure is what keeps the strong alive. So never settle. Never coast. Never believe the job is done. Because complacency is a silent killer. And that's coming for you the moment you stop fighting. Stay relentless. Stay ruthless. Because only the obsessed survive. The strongest version of you isn't a fantasy. It's not some distant dream tucked away in a forgotten corner of your mind. It's real. It's alive. It's waiting right beneath the surface, coiled and ready to explode into existence. but it's locked behind a door only action can open. No one will hand it to you. No one will gift it. It's yours to seize, but only if you move. Potential is a silent promise, a shadow of what you can become, but it demands a price. That price is action. Relentless, unyielding action. The weak they see that promise and believe it's out of reach. They convince themselves that their potential is something other people have, something they can only admire from afar. They stay stuck in place, paralyzed by fear, doubt, and the endless excuses that choke their progress. But the strong, they know better. They know potential is not a gift or luck. It's a battlefield. It's a war zone where the willing fight and the lazy perish. Potential doesn't belong to the passive. It belongs to those who claim it with sweat, with sacrifice, with relentless pursuit. The strong don't wait for signs or blessings. They don't debate or hesitate if they act. Every day, every hour, every second. If you want to rise, then stop wishing. Stop hoping. Stop dreaming without doing. Your potential is not a spectator, it's a beast locked inside, hungry for release. It's waiting for you to stop doubting, to stop fearing, to stop hiding behind the safe illusions of maybe someday, because someday is a trap. Today is the only moment that belongs to you. Take action now. Move with purpose. Fight through the pain. Push past every limit that whispers you're not enough. Because every second you hesitate is a second your potential waits growing restless, dying a little. You were made for more. But more is not given. It's taken. Claim it. Fight for it. Become it. Because your potential isn't lost. It's waiting. And it will remain waiting until you decide it's time to rise. Fear is the greatest poison that dulls the fire inside you. The fire of transformation is not your enemy. It is the crucible that melts away every weakness, every doubt, every cowardice hiding beneath your skin. It is a burning storm that rips through the soft, the fragile, the parts of you that crave comfort and safety. Let it consume you. Let it burn you down to nothing but raw, unyielding power. The weak shrink from this fire. They run, they hide, they pretend it's a curse instead of a gift. They cling to their fragile selves, terrified of the pain and chaos that transformation demands. But that fire is the forge of all strength. The strong know that greatness isn't born from ease. It is hammered out in the flames of relentless struggle, in the heat of burning away every excuse, every limit. If you want to rise, you must embrace the fire. Not just tolerate it, but crave it. Let it scorch your fears, your doubts, your old self. The fire inside you must never die down, never flicker weakly. It must rage. It must consume. Because only through this relentless burning can you be reborn as something untouchable, something unstoppable. Transformation demands sacrifice. It demands pain. It demands surrender to the blaze. But in that fire, you find power beyond measure. You find the strength to crush every obstacle, to silence every voice that tells you to quit. The fire is your path, your weapon, your salvation. So do not fear the fire. Let it consume you. Let it burn relentlessly, because only then will you rise unbreakable, unforgiving, and unstoppable. The world moves with brutal speed. It never pauses, never slows, and it certainly does not wait for anyone who stands frozen in fear or indecision. Hesitation is a death sentence disguised as patience. It's the silent killer that drowns dreams and buries potential beneath the dust of time. You're either evolving, sharpening, growing, or you're fading into the shadows, erased by the relentless march of progress and power. The weak fool themselves into thinking the world will wait, that it'll pause just long enough for them to gather courage, to find confidence, to finally take their shot. But that's a lie designed to keep them safe and small. The world doesn't care about your timing or your comfort. It only honors those who move first, who strike hard, who rise before the rest can blink. If you want to rise, you must evolve. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, but now. Evolve your mindset. Evolve your actions. Evolve your very being into something sharper, fiercer, more relentless than the day before. Because stagnation is death. Sitting still is surrender. And the world rewards only those who keep climbing, keep fighting, keep becoming something new, something unstoppable. The strong understand this hard truth. They don't wait for the perfect moment, they create it by evolving every single day. They refuse to be left behind, refuse to be forgotten. Because the world respects strength, movement, and power, and the one who rises is the one who survives. So stop hesitating. Stop waiting, not move. Transform, not grow. Because the world does not wait for those who hesitate. The world bows only to strength, nothing else earns respect. Comfort is a cunning trap, a slow poison that dulls your edge and lulls you into a deathly sleep of complacency. Pain isn't a curse. It's the unmistakable proof that you're breaking down the old, weak parts of yourself to build something stronger, something unbreakable. The fiercest battles aren't fought outside, they're fought inside, against the weaker versions of you that whisper lies and feed hesitation like a parasite. The strong don't surrender control. They seize it with iron fists and relentless discipline. Weakness grows in the soil of hesitation and complacency, silent killers that strike when you least expect. But your potential is not a myth or a wish, it's waiting, coiled beneath the surface, hungry and ready to explode into life. The fire within you must burn without mercy, consuming doubt, fear, and every trace of weakness until only raw, unstoppable power remains. It's simple. Rise or be forgotten. There is no middle ground, no pause. No waiting for the right moment. If you're ready to demand more pain, more struggle, more transformation, if you're ready to stand unshakable in the inferno of your own becoming, then this is your moment. The fire within is waiting. Let it burn. Let it consume everything weak inside you, and rise. If this resonated with you, if you're ready to stop settling and start demanding more from yourself, then hit that subscribe button. This is just the beginning. The journey to greatness is long, but it's worth it. And I'll be here every step of the way to guide you. So subscribe now, and let's rise together, *.